All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Limitless MD. I'm your host, Vikram Raya. And guys, it's been a while since I've come back to the solo casting, and I want to apologize. Things have been pretty busy in my life. I just came back from climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. What an epic adventure. What an epic journey. I almost didn't make it. We were desatting pretty hard, oxygen's down to like the low 80s, but um, and then victorious on top, waving the Limitless MD flag at the top at close to 20,000 feet, at the tallest freestanding mountain in the world, Mount Kilimanjaro. One of my bucket list items, done, completed, off to history. What if you could reclaim hours of free time each week, create legacy building wealth, and devote more energy to your passion projects without giving up on your career as a life-saving MD? My name is Vikram Raya, functional cardiologist, high performance coach, and real estate expert. And I'm here to give you the tools, strategies, and solutions you need to transform your life so you can unlock your limitless potential and achieve greatness, all the while freeing up your precious time. Welcome to Limitless MD. Let's dive in. With that said, I'm back in the chair and want to speak my mind, speak the truth, and just really get out there and share with you guys some of the lessons I've learned throughout my life. And a lot of my coaching clients come to me and say, they're anxious or worried, they're concerned or afraid, whatever the word they want to use, and overwhelm and all that kind of stuff. So today we're going to talk about how to defeat anxiety and worry. And really, what is worry? What is anxiety? And I think it really comes down to it's your nervous system telling you that there's a problem, there's a concern, and it's essentially future consequences giving you an alert now. It's essentially a spidey sense. Hey, danger is approaching if you don't take action. And it's probably indicating that you're not fully prepared. So instead of beating up this emotion that we have, use it as a welcome sign of something that we need to handle. And we need to go upstream and take care of this. And perhaps we're procrastinating on something, we're delaying doing something. And so that's the crux of where that emotion originates. Now, what do we do about it? Well, the number one thing is make a decision. And number two is take action, right? If you can just encapsulate those last two sentences I just said, that literally will get you to get out of this emotion and into confidence and competence and progress and energy and happiness. So here's a maxim I live by. Action beats anxiety, motion beats meditation, and work beats worry. What does that mean? Really, like, if you start taking any action, doesn't matter if it's a right or wrong action, you're taking some action toward those goals, then you get out of this overwhelm, the sense of like helplessness, this learned helplessness. And you're like, hey, I have agency of my life. I have control. I have jurisdiction of what I can do and what I can't do. And, whatever's in my control, I'm utilizing and harnessing my full resources and traveling toward a destination of where in some version of the future, I will have either handled this thing, mitigated the downside of it, or have overcome whatever the thing that's causing me that worry. So I really think taking decisions is very key. Many of the coaching clients I work with, we're stuck in what we call analysis paralysis. That's what makes all these people I coach phenomenal doctors, because they're so cautious. They analyze all the information and then they make a decision. But in life and in business and in just pursuing things, not in their main career, this can sometimes be their kryptonite. So it's literally deciding, hey, look, I really need to decide on what's going on, take massive action, see the feedback that I'm getting. Am I getting closer to this outcome or away from the outcome? Course correct along the way, and then, iterate as needed, and then keep going. And it's really just, as long as you're making progress, remember, progress equals happiness. So let me share with you a couple of ways where this happened in my own life, and maybe you can relate. So as you guys know, I run Viking Capital along with my co-founder Ravi Gupta, and for sometimes we're raising capital for a large deal, and it's sometimes overwhelming. Like, I have to raise $50 million. How am I going to do that? Like, your mind sort of it gets boggled. So it can stress you out. It can overwhelm you. You can get nervous at times, and the way I approach it is similar to how I approach a lot of things. If I just think about it, then yeah, my head can spin. But if I start taking action, if I start making phone calls, if I create an RPM plan, which we've talked about in previous episodes, which is a results focused, purpose driven, massive action plan, where I figure out, hey, what's my outcome? That's the first question you always ask. What's my outcome? Number two, why do I want it? Why is this important to achieve? Who will it make me become? And how will I impact others along the way? And then finally, it's what are the 5, 10, 15, 20 things that if I just listed them out, that I would start taking me toward this goal or achieving this goal. And then out of the 5, 10, 15, 20 things, you do an 80-20 analysis. What's the 20% of the things that will get me 80% of my results? And that's how you prioritize that list and go after it. You just don't go down 1 through 20. That's silly and that's ineffective. You want to be efficient with your time, right? So that's how I'm thinking about it for like a deal or capital raising for a project. I was invited to speak in LA by Peter and his community at Passive Income MD. And it's interesting. The timing was I was doing this huge climb in Kilimanjaro in Africa. And then literally 2 or 3 days later, I had to fly out to LA to do this talk. And, this talk is going to be in front of like 300, 400 people in person and maybe 1,000 people online. So it's sort of a big presentation. And then, just the preparation and all of the stuff for everything that's going on, it was really starting to get to me. And I was like, hey, how do I approach this? And so then it came to me. I'm like, instead of me using like, I have to do this climb and then I have to go do this talk, I'm like, what could I combine things, And so what I ended up doing is I used the analogy of climbing to the top of the mountain as sort of a metaphor for doctors achieving sort of peak success in life. And it became sort of fun for me. So while I was preparing to climb the mountain, I was also preparing the talk. And while I was on the mountain, I was giving all these insights on, hey man, that'd be great to put into my presentation. And so it became sort of synergistic, and ended up doing both very well. I accomplished the climb, got to the top. Only 60% of people get to the top of Kilimanjaro, so we did it. Proud of the team. And then I really wanted to give a good talk, and it ended up being a phenomenal talk, and people gave me, accolades, and, they appreciated what I had to say. And so I felt good, and so that's, instead of being nervous and worrying and not taking action, I started taking action in a way that was essentially serving both causes. And then finally, because of my travel schedule, I feel like I was not giving enough energy and time to my boys, Veer and Arman, or 9 and 11. And I feel like, I was missing some of their practices, and, not being there for some of their games, and just, some of the schoolwork. And I felt bad. I was like, am I being a bad father? Am I not, am I not placing them on the same level as I place everything else in my life? What's going on here? And so it was causing me anxiety and worry, right? And so I was like, okay, well, I can't fix the past of when I was gone, I was away. So let me reframe that. Hey, look, maybe when I was away and there, I was thinking about them. I appreciate them even more, and their absence made my heart grow fonder, obviously. But then I'm assuming, hey, I'm setting an example for them. I'm showing what a successful person in life looks like, who can achieve multiple outcomes in multiple disciplines, and do it in a way that's elegant and graceful. So I'm trying to maybe be a role model for them. And then when I get back home, remember I talked about action beats anxiety, motion beats meditation, and work beats worry. So I got to work. I'm like, all right, I got into it. We started working on sports stuff together. We started working on their homework together. I came up with this cool system where I'm going to essentially create these little cards, where one card is like, the routine for the morning routine and the evening routine. And one card is for like, all the things they can do in basketball. One card is for all the things they can do in math and things like that. And so I have like all this optionality for them, and it's allowing them to actually utilize their time much more efficiently. I can also check on their progress, and whenever they're stuck, I can, coach them or mentor them whenever I need. And so, it out of this desperation came an inspiration of how I can even be a better parent. So I love that. So, you know, guys, welcome that feeling of anxiety and worry. It's a message. It's your brain warning you of future consequences if you don't take action now. And take action. Now, that being said, there is a type of worry that just is incessant and pervasive, and that is more of a mindset shift and frame. And we can talk about another call, but this is more episodic anxiety and worry based on something pending or coming up. So, guys, continue to support the channel, continue to support the YouTube, the podcast and stuff. We really appreciate all the support and advice you guys have been sending my way. If you guys want to be part of the community, we have a free community called Physician Wealth Accelerator. And, my one-on-one coaching is filled at this point, but I would love for you guys to join me in group coaching if that's of interest to you. Otherwise, guys, continue to be phenomenal, continue to up-level, continue to 10x yourself, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Limitless MD. If you found value from this episode, I encourage you to share this episode with a friend and let me know by leaving a review. For more information, make sure you check out the links in the show notes below or simply visit vikramraya.com. So until next time, my friends, be phenomenal.